Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video in the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 2017 Minnesota Vikings Fantasy Draft Rebuild. That is right, we are back, and we all know the past couple episodes I've had my differences with this team, to say the least. We've got such a talented roster, and yet we've just underperformed. We've made a Super Bowl, but that was with our former quarterback, Josh Allen. We couldn't get it done. I was furious. I sent Josh Allen away. In return, we brought in a nice up-and-coming youngster named Joe Burrow, and the tenure of Joe Burrow right now, I don't know if it's been as successful off the rip as I might have wanted it. He's been here now for 2 seasons, and those 2 seasons have been mostly disappointing, I guess you could say. We've underperformed with the level of talent that we have around him, and we've just not lived up to what I was expecting when we were moving on from Josh Allen, considering he just got us to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we did lose it. We are coming up on modern day. The draft class in today's episode is the current day draft class, the 2024 NFL Draft. So once we get done with this draft class, I'm probably going to move on to one final draft class, which means there's not much more time left in this Minnesota Vikings fantasy draft rebuild, because once we get to modern day, then it's pretty much, what else are you going to do? Auto-generated classes? No, this is about the draft classes in general. So we've only really got a couple episodes left, maybe even just one more. So this is make or break. This is go time. We got to get a championship now, or we are going to be forever a failure to the Minnesota Viking fan base. And I do not want to be a failure to the Minnesota Vikings fan base. It all comes down to these next 2 episodes. We've got to get a championship. It has to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It has to happen. So, without further ado, hope you guys going to enjoy the video. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go see if we can rebuild this team in the offseason enough, not really a rebuild, reload this team enough in the offseason to go and win a final championship. Considering the structure and the way we do things here on this channel and on this series in general, I'm probably going to go to the 2025 draft class just because we start every episode in the offseason. So if I want to do one more episode after this, I kind of have to have the 2025 draft class. So we will go into next year's draft class, the 2025 draft class, but that'll be the final episode, regardless of if we win a championship or not. Hopefully, we won't have to worry because we've already won one in this episode. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's start the offseason and figure it out. So we have negative $40 million, but I'm pretty sure I already made all my moves before the end of last episode. So here we sit with Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, who's been here since the beginning, even though we had Le'Veon Bell to start, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. The wide receiver core is beautiful. Offensive line is really, really solid as well. At this point, I don't even think we need a center. I don't think the center is the problem. Braden Smith is holding it down. He's doing a fine job. Travis Kelce at tight end with Isaiah Likely as the backup. And then on the defense, we've got Rashawn Gary, Hassan Reddick, Patrick Queen, Max Crosby. We bumped him up to star development in a 74 overall, so just so he could be competitive. We do probably need a D tackle since we haven't been able to fill out that spot. Myles Garrett has been pretty good. Sauce Gardner, Tariq Woolen, J.C. Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley. Corners are very, very good. And then obviously safeties are pretty good as well. But we might need to replace Tyrann Mathieu in this episode. I'm not 100% sure, but we might need to. I guess it depends on where the draft falls and who's available as a free safety. Because we obviously don't have any money to buy anybody or purchase anybody in free agency, to sign anybody to contracts. So Tyrann Mathieu might have to just be the guy to get it done for one extra season. Oh, but player negotiations, did I get rid of everybody? I didn't. So we are going to lose Dexter Lawrence, it looks like, because I can't franchise tag him, and we're going to lose Travis Kelce as well. Dexter Lawrence being an 81 overall isn't as bad as losing Dexter Lawrence in like real life, because Dexter Lawrence in current day Madden is unbelievably talented, but this one hasn't really developed as much as I would have hoped he would have, considering we spent a pretty good pick on him. And then Travis Kelce's 34 years old. Looks like it's going to have to be Isaiah Likely. But D tackles are going to be a big need for us. That's going to be priority number one. And I don't even know if this class has the talent at D tackle that we need. I know it's got a couple of decent guys in it, but we need like mega D tackles. The best players in free agency are special team guys, fullbacks. Jonathan Taylor's at 25 years old. There's some good players in this class. Nobody that's like we absolutely have to have. Dexter Lawrence has 10 teams interested in him, so good for him. He can go off into his next adventure. But basically all we got to do is get to the draft. That's all I'm waiting for. We don't have any money to sign any free agents, so we can't really even care about the free agents period. We got to get to the draft, although I need to know, I always forget, because I do so many of these things, what are our draft pick capital? What do we have? What are we working with? We're working with the 4th overall pick from the Raiders. Thank you, Vegas. Thank you, Vegas. We also have 3 7th-round picks. We have 2 thirds, 1 second. So we don't even have our own pick. We have the Colts pick, which is like 28th or something, is what it said. The 4th overall, the 4th overall pick from the Raiders is going to be very, very good. That could get us the D tackle that we need. Or we use the pick at 28 to get the D tackle that we need. I don't really know. I got to take a look at the mock draft to see kind of where everybody's sitting. So, number 1 is Caleb Williams. No surprise there. Marvin Harrison, Drake May. They have us taking Bucky Irving. That's not going to be the case. I could use the number 4 pick to take Brock Bowers because we did just lose Travis Kelce. So, Brock Bowers is a somewhat of a need at tight end. And then there's Jerzon Newton at D tackle. So, where do we go? Byron Murphy at 26. We're right there at 28 to take Blake Corum. We're not going to take Blake Corum. Oh, this is quite the draft board right here. Do we need to trade up from 28 to get Byron Murphy? Because if I take Byron Murphy, then we don't need Jerzon Newton. We could take Brock Bowers. That's a tough question. I don't know. We might need to trade up slightly to get our guy Byron Murphy, because I've heard he's the second best D tackle in the class behind Jerzon Newton. So let's use one on Brock Bowers. Let's use one on. I'd like to get both Newton and Murphy if I could, but let's use one on Byron Murphy to complete him, and then let's also use one on Brandon Dorless, because we might have to take Brandon Dorless in the second round if he's available. So I didn't see him on the board, so we'll use our final scouts on them, and we'll figure out what the move is. I think the move is to trade up to get Byron Murphy, because out of everything, we have to come away with a D tackle in this class. So it's not like I can just let that go, because we can't have Keanu Benton start a D tackle for this season, especially when this season matters so much and we need to win a championship. So Brock Bowers ends up being a 90% on him. That's fine. Did we have him like 80% and he only got to 90%? Whatever. Let's see. Who else did we do? We did the D tackles. So Byron Murphy is a top 5 true talent. Wow. And then Brandon Dorless, we got him up to 90%. Okay, so Byron Murphy being a top 5 true talent in this class definitely changes some things. That means we're going to trade up to get him. We're also going to take Brock Bowers so we can fill out that hole. Let's just do that right now. Let's just trade up with, I think it was the Patriots, from pick 28 to pick 26. I'm pretty sure it was the Patriots that had pick 26. We trade up. They declined it. Okay, I'll go from pick 27 then if I have to. This also gives me a chance to show you guys the method I always talk about. Remember, I'm always on normal trade difficulty. I never bump it up at all. Always on normal trade difficulty. But if you have your entire staff tree bought out in the player personnel side, the trading side of things, you have it all bought out, all upgraded, you can do 1-for-1s pretty easily. You can even do, as you saw, 1-for-2s, basically. You can go up 2 spots. Most of the time. Depends on the order of the draft board, depends on the team you're trading with, depends on a lot of different things. But sometimes you can do that. But pretty much until you get to the top 5, I'd say, you can do swap 1 for 1s. I even think I'm going to trade up to 25. Just because that's happened to me before where I've traded up to the spot where I think the guy's going to go, and he goes like a pick or 2 ahead of me. So I'm going to try to find pick 25. It's held by the Chiefs? Cardinals. Held by the Cardinals. So now we have pick number 4, and pick number 25. So let's start drafting. Number 1 pick in the draft is the Texans, and they get their guy, Caleb Williams, then Marvin Harrison, then Drake May, and now we are up. No, that's not us. That is us. We're the Vikings, right? Yeah. We're the Vikings. I don't know what I was thinking. I got confused on the Packers series and the Vikings series. Hold on. We're good. We're taking Brock Bowers regardless of what pick we are. But I just didn't want to skip it. He's only got normal development. That's shocking to me. 87 speed. He's still a wonderful tight end, and he's still going to probably be a high overall than Isaiah Likely. But that is really crazy that he is only normal development. All right, so I got a little confused there of what pick we were. I forgot we were the Vikings for a second. So we take our guy. Jaden Daniels heading to Cleveland. Good luck there, buddy. J.C. Latham, Malik Neighbors. I think this might be the first time I've ever taken Brock Bowers since I was shocked in the first place that he was normal development. I wouldn't be shocked if I had taken him previously and known about that. We are getting ever so close to our spot here at pick number 25. J.J. McCarthy is the new quarterback in Tampa. Rome Odunze is headed to Cincinnati. That's elite. That is a really good draft pick. And here he is, Byron Murphy. So we got our tight end. We get our D tackle. He's also normal development. A top 5 player. Does none of these guys have none of these guys have development trait? How does a top 5 talent not have a development trait? Kind of crazy if you ask me. But we're not done taking tackles, that's for sure. We are going to hopefully grab Brandon Dorless or the other guy. And it looks like Tavondre Sweat is right there. I heard recently that he just got arrested or something, so that's not good for him. There's Brandon Dorless, and then there should be one other guy. Maybe he's not in the top half. Oh, there he is, Mason Smith. Okay, so Dorless is ranked at the 16th spot, and then Tavondre Sweat is ranked at the 10th spot. So we have a little bit of time, I think, unless somebody reaches, which is not out of the question. There goes Newbin, John Ellis, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid going in the second round is kind of crazy. Jeremiah Trotter, Jordan Morgan, Patrick Paul, Cooper Beebe. All right, now we're at 13. Tavondre Sweat's right there, and Brandon Dorless is right there. So it's just a matter of who do I want. Do I want to trade up to get Brandon Dorless or Tavondre Sweat? I didn't scout Tavondre Sweat because I thought he would go earlier in the round. I think I want Dorless. I shouldn't have to trade up too far. Keon Coleman goes. Jonathan Brooks goes. One final pick, and it's Tavondre Sweat. Perfect. That makes the decision a lot easier for me. Brandon Dorless, welcome to Minnesota, and he has a normal development trait as well. We're not getting very lucky on the tackles, the D tackle. Well, on any of the draft. I haven't drafted a hidden development player all draft. Kind of shocking to me. Sometimes that's what happens, though. So we know Troy Franklin's a true round 2 to 3. Cedric Von Prawn's going to be just pretty much a waste of a pick. We could grab another corner in Kamari Lassiter. That might be who I go for. Because I'm not going to take any of these guys that are day 3. Xavier Worthy would be the only other guy that I would probably grab. And is he as fast as he is in real life? He's got 4.27 speed. Looks like they updated him. I might grab Xavier Worthy here. I know we don't necessarily need a receiver, but I might grab Xavier Worthy. No, he's not going to play. That's the only issue. I have a feeling he falls. If he falls to round 4, I will grab him. I'll take Kamari Lassiter. We need a little bit more corner depth, more so than we need wide receiver depth. So I will take him if he... Oh, I have another third-round pick. I forgot. Oh, I'll take Xavier Worthy now, then. I forgot that I had another third-round pick. We'll take Xavier Worthy. Finally, we draft a guy who has hidden development. It comes in the third round, and it's Xavier Worthy with 97 speed, 96 acceleration. So another wide receiver off the board. Another wide receiver on our team. Now we get to round 4. Troy Franklin's still available. That might be good value in the 4th round to grab Troy Franklin. But then you got Tommy Eichenberg. You got Javonte Jean-Baptiste. I think I'm going to take Eichenberg here. And he has hidden development. Okay, I was expecting normal, but hidden development from the Buckeye captain. Love to see that. Extra middle linebacker depth. He's probably not going to have a very high overall, but he at least has a development trait. Brian Thomas Jr. goes, which means, yep, Troy Franklin has gone as well. All that's left is Jerry Rice's kid, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, and Steel Chambers, my favorite player. I'm going to take Javonte Jean-Baptiste, former Buckeye, transferring to Notre Dame. He's a Golden Domer. And then I'll take Steel Chambers with this pick, and then I'll let the rest of the draft be handled. I guess, well, actually, I'll take Brandon Rice with this one, and then I'll take Steel Chambers with our next 5th round pick, and then the CPU can handle whatever's left. I feel like this class is kind of not as good as I would have hoped, and that's not because of the talent that we got. We filled a bunch of needs, and we got the guys that I wanted to get. I feel like those development traits not being there is going to cost us in the end. And I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. So the draft recap, we got 277 overalls, Brock Bowers and Byron Murphy. Dorless is a 70. Lassiter's a 69, nice. Worthy's a 71. Eichenberg 67. Beat Jean-Baptiste 67. It is what it is. They got a couple of backup guys, but best player in the class was Caleb Williams, then Marvin Harrison, then we got the next 2. So we got top 3 and 4. We got the 3rd and 4th best players in the entire class, and none of them have development traits. That is actually wild. And a little upsetting. A little upsetting. But that's the way the game's played sometimes. That's the way the game is played. So we go into one of the final seasons. Brock Bowers will start. Byron Murphy will start with Keanu Benton. I really need this team to perform. I really, really do. We're going to find out. I'm going to simulate to the end of the... Actually, nope. I was going to say simulate to the end of the season. We're going to simulate to the end of the preseason and then start from there. All right, so we got to the beginning of the regular season. I loaded in the draft class. This will be the final draft class that we ever do. This will be the start of the final episode of the series. It's got everybody you love. Travis Hunter, Quinn Ewers, Luther Burden. That'll be the final draft class that ever happens in this series, because next episode will be the finale. But I really hope that we don't have to worry about winning a championship in the finale. I really hope that we win a championship this season. You guys know what the roster looks like, so we can get started with a little bit of a simulation here. But we need this man right here. We need Joe Burrow to play like Joe Burrow. I know he's only an 81 overall, but we absolutely need him to play well. If he doesn't play well, the team's not going to win. So let's go see what Joe Burrow's got for us. What do you got in store for us? Okay, so we start the season with a loss. Not ideal. What about week 2 against the Jaguars? We got the first mock draft coming up. We will start the season 1-1. Love to see it. We beat the Jaguars 24-21. I don't like the fact that it was so close, but hey, a win is a win is a win is a win. Now we play Seattle in week 3. And what's that going to give us? That is going to give us another win. Taking on the New York Jets, week number 4 of the NFL season has us winning. We now play the 0-4 Patriots. Patrick Queen gets an upgrade point. The 0-4 Patriots. The Lions are 4-0, by the way. They beat us in week 1. They're 4-0. Packers are winless, by the way. Kind of crazy. Can we beat the Patriots, or is it going to be classic Madden? No, we do beat them. And a breakout defensive line. Please tell me that's Byron Murphy. Please tell me that's Byron Murphy, because going from normal to star is very easy. It is Byron Murphy. He's had a crazy start to the year. Byron Murphy's got a chance. He's got a shot. Please, please give it to me. Take it on the Bills. Come on, Byron. Come on, Byron. We beat the Bills. We are 5-1 in the season. The Packers actually won a game, but I don't see any upgrade points for Byron Murphy, which kind of scares me. Please tell me he got it. Not gonna lie, that game was humbling. Byron, you had to get 1 tackle. Oh my God. We didn't get it. We did not get the upgrade. It's so easy in simulation to go from normal to star. Usually it happens almost every time. So, which is super confusing to me why he didn't get it, but he doesn't do it. I will jump in and play this game against the Packers just because it's the Packers. But we currently sit at 5-1, so we're looking pretty good to start the season, which is exactly what I wanted us to do. All right, we got Vikings and Packers. It's a rivalry as old as time. We'll see if we can get this job done. Hold on. Okay. We'll see if we can get this job done and keep the Packers down in the division and keep us at the top of the division. That's really the goal. That's what I want us to do. Pretty obviously. Snap it. Roll out. Have nobody open. Fire it in. He's going to step in front of me. It's going to be an interception. I hate everything about everything. That's the dumbest interception ever because I tried to turn into Stephon Diggs and move him forward. It just didn't happen. So it's interception. Packers take a touchdown off of it. We get a touchdown back at 7-7. 14-7 Green Bay. Come on. They're a 1-win football team. Let's get it done here. Let's play defense. Let's actually do some things. And for some reason, it's not working right now. Okay, hold on. Big field goal. We do take a lead, 17-14. But they go back and score a touchdown. Why are they a 1-win team if they're scoring on our defense? What's happening here? I don't really understand it. I don't necessarily understand it. 3rd and 1, we're going to jump in here because we are severely under a minute. We are under 40 seconds now. That accelerated clock was kind of wild. But I'm going to go quickly. It's Brock Bowers. How did he drop that, Brock? I need to see that again. I need to see a replay of that. Hold on. I need to see a replay of that because that was right in his hands. He just didn't catch it. It went through his body. It decapitated my tight end, my rookie tight end. It went through his neck. Madden, what are we doing here? This is on target. This couldn't have been thrown better. And it goes through his body, through his neck. I mean, come on. I know that you're a bad company and you're a poorly made video game, but what are we doing here? What even is this? How is this not a catch? How does this go through his body? How, if you showed somebody this picture right here, this freeze frame, and you said this doesn't end up being a catch, they wouldn't believe you at all. How does that not happen? Unbelievable video game, man. It's just so crazy how bad it is. It surprises me. I know it shouldn't surprise me, but it surprised me with how bad this game is sometimes. Joe Burrow does the job. We got to use our timeout here. 25 seconds. We got 1 timeout remaining, and we got to get to the end zone, basically. Field goal does nothing for us. Brock Bowers. He's going to dive and catch that one. It's a touchdown with 20 seconds to go. A buzzer beater of sorts. Joe Burrow to the rookie Brock Bowers. So he catches that one. He catches that one, but he doesn't catch the one that was easier. Unbelievable. But he did it. We lead 24-21. Can we hold on? 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. That's the ball game. I know I shouldn't be that excited to beat a 1-win football team, but sometimes you got to be excited when Madden tries to screw you like that. They had Paxton Lynch as their starting quarterback. No wonder they're a 1-win football team. We beat the we beat the Green Bay Packers as the Minnesota Vikings. Murphy and Brock Bowers both get upgrade points. That's good to see. That's very, very good to see. I also haven't even mentioned today that in the last episode, we traded for CJ Stroud. So he's now our starting quarterback, which is kind of crazy. CJ Stroud, now he's not our starting quarterback, he's our backup quarterback. I thought that maybe he could become the starter. He's right there alongside Joe Burrow, being a decent overall. So it's a conversation. But I mean, Joe Burrow's leading us to all these victories. You can't really go away from him right now. National focus for the final draft class is probably going to be on corner. So we'll focus on corners there, and we will move deeper into the season. Deeper into the season. Taking on the Chicago Bears. Bears. We will beat them as well. A 7-1 start for the Minnesota Vikings here halfway through the season. Love to see it. Now we take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals. We will beat them as well. Joe Burrow delivering on his promise to make this team better. I'm happy. But now we've got scout-focused players. Oh, I might as well scout Walter Nolan, because we are going to need another D-tackle. Will Johnson I'll scout, because I've never gotten him before. And then I don't even know anybody else on this list, really. I know a few guys. I think I've taken Abdul Carter before, and he wasn't that good. Or at least he wasn't development trait. I'll scout Colston Loveland. Those will be the three guys that we focus on in Week 11. And we need to keep this momentum going here. Let's keep building the distance between the rest of us in the division, and we lose the next game. That makes a bunch of sense. Let's go. They were a 3-win team, by the way. Let's go play the Giants and beat them. There we go. We got back on track. Beating the Giants. A couple guys get some upgrade points. Week 13 at home against the Chicago Bears. Let's jump in and see if we can get to a 10-win team. All right, we are here in Minnesota to take on the Bears. And we are hoping that we can win this game pretty comfortably and go to 10 wins. That's the whole goal. I got Amon-Ra wide open. Nope, that's Stephon Diggs. I thought it was Amon-Ra for a second. It is Stephon Diggs. Regardless, it's an open receiver for a big-time gain. Joe Burrow delivers a nice throw. 1st and 10 from the 41. One play, one big chunk of yardage. And that is Elijah Mitchell's the running back for some reason. I thought that was Christian McCaffrey. It was most certainly not. We got Isaiah Likely running the other route. I'm fine with that because he should be able to get open, and he does. Oh, I wanted that block to be thrown there, but he kind of got out of the range. That's all right. Good throw from Burrow. Good catch from Likely. That gets us into big-time red zone positioning here at the 11. A little mesh spot probably is going to be good. It's Isaiah Likely again. The young tight end starting to step up here. And then maybe we give a little run play to Christian McCaffrey. See if he can get in the end zone. Christian fights. Can't get it. Down to the 2. It's 3rd and 1. We do have a chance to get a first down here if we get a yard. We do get a first down. I'm going to hand this ball off to McCaffrey again. And he's going to not only get the first down, he's going to get the touchdown as well. Christian McCaffrey delivers. And the Vikings go on the board early. But we need to score again. We do. 14-0. Bears get a field goal. Bears get another field goal. But we go up 21-6. And at the end of the half, we score another touchdown. It's 28. Now it's 35. Oh, man. We are rattling off points here. Bears make it 35-13. Now it's 42-13. 42-20. 49-20. 49-27. It's a good thing we're putting up all these points because the Bears are starting to fight back here in the second half. And that is going to be the ball game. Minnesota wins again. We are now a 10-win team here in the season. That's a lot better than what we were last year because I think we only won like 8 or 9 games last year. So I think it was 9 games. So very, very good. We're on pace for a very good season. Only had 2 losses so far. Tyreek Stevenson, big upgrade point. Love to see that. And we're coming close to the end of the season. The end of the season is upon us. We got a breakout quarterback scenario for Joe Burrow, who's already an X Factor. I guess we can just hope that he gets the XP, but I doubt that he will. it's almost impossible for quarterbacks to get XP breakout quarterback scenarios. But will he get it? We have against the Panthers, we lose the game 20-17, which means he most certainly did not get it, which is very frustrating. It's not like we needed the dev trait. He's already got the dev trait. I just would have preferred the XP, but that's kind of frustrating that we lost to the Panthers. Now we have $103 million, and we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hufanga, CeeDee Lamb, Joe Burrow, Patrick Queen, Jalen Johnson. We could just bail on Joe Burrow and start CJ Stroud, but I guess it depends. We'll have to decide on Joe Burrow after we get through the playoffs, because that's going to really make a difference. Does Joe Burrow get us a championship? Something Josh Allen couldn't get us to do. We bring back Amon-Ra. We got to bring back Hufanga as well. So let's go pay Talanoa Hufanga. He's going to come back. So we have $39 million to pay Joe Burrow. That should be enough to pay him. But I don't want to pay him right now because I don't know what's going to happen. If I don't have to pay him, I'm not going to pay him. I'll just trade him to another team and then have CJ Stroud start the final episode. That's a possibility. And a very likely possibility, depending on how we finish the season. We beat the Packers, which is how we should have done it. Now we take on the Miami Dolphins. We will beat them as well. We have 2 games left to go in the season. And we sit pretty comfortable. We sit pretty comfortable here. Taking on the Detroit Lions. Give me what I want. And that's a 21-0 victory. Thank you, baby Jesus. We're having quite the season here. 1 final game to go in the regular season. 13-3 versus 8-8. How will we end the regular season? It'll be on a loss, and we have to play in the wild card. That is unbelievable. That is just... How do you lose the final game of the season? How do you lose it to an 8-8 football team? Were we battling for the 1 seed? If we would have won that game, we would have been the 1 seed. That is unreal, bro. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I cannot believe we lost because we didn't get the 1 seed because we lost the game. That's crazy. Joe Burrow leads the league in passing yards, though, so that's nice, I guess. 4,800 yards, 34 touchdowns, 13 picks, but he couldn't get the job done in the final game of the season. It's still a really good season. Christian McCaffrey, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, and 13 touchdowns for Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3 1,000-yard receivers. I didn't even see that. Brock Bowers had 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs had 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns, so that's really good to see. And then you got defensively, Patrick Queen leading the team in tackles. No surprise there, 119. 85 for Reddick, 72 for Matthew. Byron Murphy, the rookie, led the team in tackles for loss. So you couldn't, you led the team in tackles for loss, but you couldn't get the 1 tackle for loss you needed to go to star development. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sack leader is Hassan Reddick with 13.5. Myles Garrett had 8.5. Interception leader is Sauce Gardner with 4. Then JC and Foyesade had 2. And a couple guys had 1. That's where we stand right now. And we've got to jump in and play the wild card because I'm serious, man. We got to get a W. So we got to win a Super Bowl. It starts now. We start the game, the wild card game, with the ball. We really need a win here. We need a win more so than we've ever needed a win in our entire series. If we don't win this game, then we've got 1 episode to win the elusive Super Bowl, or I'm pretty much considered a failure. I've had a lot of time with this team, and the fact that I couldn't win a championship is not a good look. So I got to do it now. And it looks like I'm going to have to dump this off to Brock Bowers. He holds on. I really wish that my guys would get open. I know I'm not trying to ask for too much. I mean, you just get open. You're way more talented than anybody on this Eagles team. And yeah, oh God, I didn't even do that. Somehow McCaffrey's still on his feet. He gets the first down. I don't know how that was even possible, but it was. This play worked last time we used it against the Bears. So I'm going to set my feet. Oh, I didn't set my feet. I don't know why Burrow... I stopped running on the analog stick. I stopped pushing it, and he still was running. That's annoying. He throws behind likely. Incomplete pass. Very frustrating, since I tried to step my feet. That time I didn't try to step my feet, and Brock Bowers is able to catch that. 90-something yards. Did it say 99 yards? I think it did. For Joe Burrow through the air today, already on the first drive. I don't really know where to go. Is that going to be roughing the passer? Or is that going to be, was I in the box? Ah! They're going to count me as in the tackle box there. I panicked, okay? I didn't see him coming around the edge like that. I had to throw that ball. He came in way too quick. I was not expecting him to be so free like that. Oh, that's Isaiah Likely. He's got a lot of space. Everybody went the opposite direction. Isaiah Likely gets all those yards back and more. Down to the 4-yard line is Isaiah Likely. He's becoming the likely target. Big time catch. How can we finish the job? With a touchdown. How do we do that? Not getting sacked. Good heavens. That guy was quick. 2nd and goal from the 4. Come on, boys. We got to do this. We got to get the job done. No, Amon-Ra. I hate you, Amon-Ra. You got bumped off the initial line, and you were supposed to go inside and win immediately. He didn't. He got bumped outside, and I already had thrown it. So that's... Oh, I hate that. Quick throw to Stephon Diggs. He got bumped too. How was that not pass interference? He got bumped from the corner, or the linebacker, whoever it was. That's got to be pass interference. It's just straight up got to be. There's nothing else you can say about that except for pass interference. And yet, I'm looking at a 4th and goal and no pass interference. Unbelievable. Joe Burrow, get it done, Joe. He's got the touchdown. He had to do it himself. He said, screw the defensive line. Screw the linebackers. I'm getting it done, and he gets it done. Now all we got to do is score some more points. They got Justin Fields. Now all we got to do is score some more points and win this ball game and go to the divisional round. 17-0. We're skunking them right now. Love to see it. We missed that field goal, though. Eagles score touchdown late 3rd quarter. Come on, boys. Let's get it done. We're into the 4th quarter now. And we go another touchdown up. Okay, so we're going to win this ball game. We will survive. We will live to play another day in the playoffs. Joe Burrow outlasted Justin Fields. So we're heading to the divisional round where we should have just been initially. We should have been the 1 seed. But for some reason, you can't beat an 8-win Ravens team in the final game of the season. It's not like we were resting anybody because the 1 seed was not locked up. So there was no reason to rest anybody. But it's game time. Divisional round against the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, there's nothing else to say except for let's go beat them birds and go to the NFC title game. Really, the only good thing about being the 2 seed is the fact that you get to have home field advantage throughout most of the playoffs until you eventually end up facing the 1 seed. But hopefully that doesn't happen for us. Maybe the 1 seed gets beat and we don't have to play them. I don't know. It is the Falcons, so you never know. But we're down 14-7 here. Big field goal. We get it, 14-10. Come on, boys. We're into the 4th quarter now. We got to get some movement happening here. Got to get them loins a-burning. 2nd and 8. I'm assuming whoever's the quarterback for the Cardinals had a turnover. That's going to be Brock Bowers. That gets us to 3rd and 3. He also got bumped, so he slowed down his route, if you didn't notice. Throw that ball. That's Terry McLaurin. He's got it for a 1st down. You love to see it. And we're moving down the field. Hand this ball off to Christian McCaffrey. See what he can do with it. Christian, wide open lane. Touchdown. Easy. Just like that. Easy peasy. Squeezing some lemons. 17-14. And all we got to do is hold on to the football. Kick a field goal. It's 20-14. We didn't really take as much time off as I wanted. And now they score a touchdown to take the lead. This is unbelievable. We are down by a point with under a minute to go in the game. Our season on the line. Fire it in. It's Stephon Diggs. He holds on. I'll call my first timeout. We only have to get to field goal range, and they're going to take me out. We scored the touchdown. They took me out, and we scored. Oh, my God. They took me out of the game, and we scored the touchdown to get the job done. Forget about the field goal. We're headed to the NFC title game on a touchdown. A walk-off, basically, because there was like 1 second left. A walk-off touchdown in the divisional round against the Arizona Cardinals. And we will play in the NFC title game against somebody. Whether it's the Falcons or whether it's somebody else. Who will we face? It'll be the Saints. Home field advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs. Who'd the Falcons lose to? They lost to the Saints. I should have known that. Why would I even ask that? Duh. Why would I ask who the Falcons lost to? Of course they lost to the Saints, because we didn't play the Saints. I'm stupid. But whatever. We will take the Saints. That's a lot better, a lot favorable, because we've got home field advantage now. 1 game away. 1 win away from a Super Bowl appearance. The second one in our series' history. But first we got to get through New Orleans. It's going to be tough, but I believe. It is the NFC Championship game here in Minnesota. And I think the last time these two teams stepped on the field in the playoffs together, it was a little Minnesota Miracle or Minneapolis Miracle action, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. I don't think they've played since that happened. It's 10-0. Into the late third quarter action. Another field goal. We hit it. 13-0. 13-7 into the red zone at the 14-yard line. If we put this one in, it's going to be real bad for New Orleans. That is for sure. So we got to do that. We got to score a tutty here. On the run. It's Amon-Ra. He catches it. It was a little bit behind St. Brown because of the way that Burrow was running. But it works out nonetheless. It's a catch for Amon-Ra St. Brown at the 3. And Christian McCaffrey fights for it at the 2. Come on, offensive line. Block for another second, please. Give Christian McCaffrey the open space he needs to score the touchdown. Oh, my God, you are not blocking. What are we doing here? Joe Burrow's yelling at the boys. Block, please. I just need a second to run the ball. Change it again at the line. Joe Burrow hands to McCaffrey. McCaffrey scores, and that puts the Vikings in a good spot. Late fourth quarter. We have the ball again. Control it. Score the touchdown. Kick the field goal. Whatever. I don't care. That's the ball game. And the Minnesota Vikings will head back to the Super Bowl for the second time in the series. Last time we were here, it didn't go very well. We lost with Josh Allen under center. But this is a new era. This is a new quarterback. This is Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow in this series has not lost in the playoffs because this is his first ever playoff appearance. We didn't make the playoffs last year. So Joe Burrow has not lost in the playoffs. And we take on, of all teams, the Kansas City Chiefs. Even in this, the Kansas City Chiefs will not be denied. They have Jared Goff as their starting quarterback, leading them to a Super Bowl. But it all comes down to this. If I don't want to have to worry about one episode to win a championship next episode, it has to happen today. It has to happen on this stage against this team in this episode. So if you guys are excited, let's get this Super Bowl underway. It is the Super Bowl in Jerry's world here in Arlington, Dallas, Arlington area, wherever we are. Let's see if we can get this one done. It all comes down to this. And I got to throw that away. That's a late hit. That's a personal foul. Oh, my God. He completely hit me after I threw the ball. Super unnecessary. But that's the video game. And, of course, nobody gets open here. So I'll throw it down the field. Stephon Diggs off his hands. Could not catch it. Could not bring it in. That's very annoying. Because he pretty much had nobody in front of him. He had just a guy behind him. He shouldn't have had to worry about that guy. And I got to throw that above everybody else. It's going to be knocked around, incomplete. And just like that, the Chiefs have stopped us. That was a very easy drive for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a little bit worried. They scored very easily, too. 7-0. 14-0. But we were down against the Saints and we came back. We can do it again. 14-7. There we go. There we go. Nope, I didn't want to jump in, but no, I won't jump in. 3rd and 8. Field goal. I might have to. No. Kick the field goal. 14-10. We got the ball again. Keep driving. Field goal to end the half. We couldn't get it. It's okay because we still are moving down the field. 17-14. Chiefs haven't been able to do anything, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Under 2 minutes to go. I'm just going to let this one go. Well, not under 2 minutes, but basically 2-minute warning. 17-14. All 3 timeouts, but they're going to use them on this last possession here. Oh, man. Down 14-0, just like we were down, what, 17-0 against the Saints? This is the rallying Minnesota Vikings, that's for sure. But now all we got to do, get 1 first down, waste as much time as possible, make sure they use all their timeouts. There's their first one. All right, McCaffrey. I'm putting the ball in your hands. I believe you can get a first down here. Christian could not get the first down, but they want us to go for it. Is that a good idea? Is that the greatest of ideas to go for it? I'm going to go RPO zone run. Hand it off to McCaffrey. It is a good idea. Christian McCaffrey, and he does the job. Not getting into the end zone, crucially. Not getting into the end zone. And I'm not going to score here with Elijah Mitchell. I'm going to try my hardest not to score here. Don't score. I could have done a QB kneel, but I picked the wrong play. And now we have the Super Bowl. All we got to do is run this clock down, maybe scoot ourselves a little bit more center for the field goal kicker if we have to. But let this clock drain away, and your Minnesota Vikings will be Super Bowl champions for the first time in their history. Oh, baby. This has been quite the journey. I've said on countless episodes how I hate this team because they just weren't performing up to the levels I needed them to perform. But we finally did it. We finally performed. Joe Burrow just needed a couple seasons in the system. He just needed a couple episodes in the system, couple of reps, and now he's ready to go, and now he's a Super Bowl champion winning quarterback. Oh, man, I'm so happy. That takes such a relief, such a weight off the shoulders, man, for not having to worry about the final episode being all or nothing. Because I've had that before. If you guys remember the 10-year rebuild series with the Arizona Cardinals, we won that Super Bowl. We hadn't won a Super Bowl all 9 seasons previously, but we won that Super Bowl on the final episode, on episode 10. Absolutely insanity. I hate when that happens. I wish that we could win a Super Bowl before that happens, and it looks like we will win a Super Bowl with the Minnesota Vikings before the final episode. So now, the next episode, which is now going to be the final episode, well, it was always going to be the final episode, but now we can just kind of try to repeat. Just kind of bring everybody back and try to repeat. So there it is, the Minnesota Vikings, 17-14 over the Chiefs. 17 unanswered points, by the way. The defense really stepped up once they allowed those 2 touchdowns. And finally, you get to see the purple confetti fall. And Christian McCaffrey is a Super Bowl champion. Joe Burrow is a Super Bowl champion. Josh Allen, eat your heart out, baby. I don't know. I don't remember what team I sent Josh Allen to. But whatever team Joe Burrow was on previously, I don't remember what team he was on. But whatever team he's on, he's watching at home. And he's like, I wish I could have done it. I wish I could have won a Super Bowl. But you failed us, Josh. Joe Burrow did not. When put on the biggest stage, Josh Allen let us down. Joe Burrow got it done. That's the difference. That's the difference between the 2 quarterbacks, the legacies of both quarterbacks. I mean, Josh Allen had just as good, maybe even a better team than what Joe Burrow is working with here. And that's saying something because our team right now is really good. And Josh couldn't get it done. But Joe Burrow does. We win a Super Bowl. We win a championship. That makes me feel so much better, man. That makes me feel so much better. And now I'm very excited to possibly see any development upgrades for the boys. So we get Brock Bowers went immediately from normal development to superstar development. Love to see that. That's very useful. Nobody else goes up anything. That's fine. On defense, it looks like Byron Murphy didn't even go up to star. Really? He didn't even get a star development? That's insanity, bro. Absolute insanity. Whatever. But remember, we cannot simulate because we're going to go negative. So we got to sign some players really quickly. we got to go, and I can't accept the option on anybody yet. We got to go and start the negotiations for Joe Burrow. So let's offer him a 6-year contract. He wants to be in a warm weather state. I guess the only thing to do if he rejects this is just to trade him and go for C.J. Stroud. I guess that's the only possibility. But he accepts. He signs with us. Welcome back, Joe Burrow. And it looks like I didn't even realize Christian McCaffrey was here either. Well, I guess what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to restructure some big deals to get some money freed up. Because we can't lose Christian McCaffrey for our final season. So team salaries. Who's got the biggest contracts that I can restructure? I can restructure Amon-Ra. Love to see that. I can restructure Stephon Diggs. Myles Garrett. Rashawn Gary. This should be freeing up a ton of money, by the way. Hufanga, who I just got back, which is hilarious. Terry McLaurin. Can't do Tyrann Mathieu. We can do Hassan Reddick, though. We can do J.C. Jackson. Penei Sewell. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of money, aren't we? We're gonna have a lot of money to bring back everybody. Josh Uche certainly can get restructured. Justin Senior can get restructured. Basically everybody. Everybody that can get restructured should probably get restructured so that we can sign everybody back. So let's keep going. Max Crosby gets restructured. Tevin Jenkins. Skoronski can't do it. Sauce we already did. T. Higgins. All right, so let's take a look now. With all those contracts that have been restructured, we should have freed up a ton of money to bring everybody back. So re-sign players, we freed up $300 million. Well, that's good enough for me. That will allow me to bring back everybody and not have to worry about overpaying people or whatever, because remember, next episode, we're not going to worry about this. So let's make sure everybody signs back so we can overpay them. CeeDee Lamb will return. Patrick Queen will come back as well. We don't have to overpay him as much because he kind of wants to be here. So we'll give him like that much money, and he says he's going to come back. Jalen Johnson we will get back as well. And he really wants to be here. So we probably only have to do like this or something. And yeah, he's going to come back. $250 million. Might as well bring back Elijah Mitchell as well to be the backup to Christian McCaffrey, because he did such a good job already. Pay him that. He's going to come back. McCaffrey up next. Give McCaffrey a 7-year deal, because why the F not? Pay him about $13 million, and then pay him, oh, I don't know, maybe $12 million on the bonus. He says he's going to come back. Foyesade, make sure he comes back, because Foyesade's been good. And then we will give him that. He's going to come back. Who else wants a contract? I feel like Oprah right now. I'm giving out contracts to every single person I can. Give him that much money. Emmanuel Mosley's back. Joe Tooney we will bring back. And we're feeling good, man. We are feeling good for a defense. We are feeling good for a defense. Might as well give Sean Wade a 7-year contract because I'm feeling generous. $172 million. We get to keep Tyrann Mathieu, which is nice, even though we probably do have to move on from him at some point. Although, I mean, if he doesn't regress too much in the offseason next episode, we might as well just keep him around, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a guy better than him. Evan McPherson, 7-year deal. Boom, offers perfect. And then Sauce Gardner, the final guy, we will accept his option on the next episode. Now I can advance the week, and we can get everything going. We brought everybody back, which was crucial. We obviously have absolutely no money for next episode, but that's okay. We don't need to re-sign, or we don't need to sign any free agents. We just need to bring everybody back and win another Super Bowl. That's all we have to do. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. We finally got it done, boys. Finally got it done. I feel so happy. Before we go, I want to check what team did I send Josh Allen to. So let's let's go here and find out what team did I send Josh Allen to. What team was Joe Burrow on? If we go to all NFL quarterbacks, Josh Allen plays for the Raiders. So Burrow was drafted by the Raiders. And look at this man regress. He's 29 years old. He's playing down because of bad morale. The Raiders are not the guys for Josh Allen. He's very disappointed, and he doesn't have a championship, but we do. We've got ourselves a title, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a title. Season recap before we go as well. Joe Burrow, MVP of the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, MVP of the league. He was on that Saints team that we beat. Drake London, Offensive Player of the Year for the Saints as well. Breeland Speaks is the Defensive Player of the Year for the Saints. Killed it. My God, they had the MVP, the Offense, and Defensive Player of the Year. Caleb Williams gets Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Texans, and Chris Braswell, outside linebacker for the Titans, gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. But we did it. We did it, boys. We won a Super Bowl. Hold on. Before we go again, I know I'm delaying it. Who did we play in that previous Super Bowl? It was the Bengals and Jacoby Brissett. That's right. We lost to the Bengals and Jacoby Brissett because I was fuming the fact that we lost that game. Insanity. But we got it back. We repaid the sins, and we have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.